Alden Mendoza, explosive updates that keep fans talking. What's really going on behind the buzz? It never really ends, does it? Just when fans think the noise is settled, another wave of intrigue, speculation, and emotional reactions brings the spotlight right back to Alden Richards and Maine Mendoza, two names that continue to spark conversations years after their iconic rise to fame. From viral social media moments to unexpected fan theories, the story surrounding these two beloved personalities remains one of the most talked about narratives in Filipino entertainment. But what's really happening now, and why does it still matter so much to people? Let's dive deep. A love team that became a phenomenon. To understand the present, you have to revisit the past. The pairing of Alden Richards and Maine Mendoza wasn't just another on-screen collaboration. It was a cultural moment. Their chemistry, spontaneity, and the way their connection unfolded in real time captured millions of hearts. Fans didn't just watch. They felt every glance, every laugh, every moment. It was raw, it was exciting, and it blurred the lines between fiction and reality. Even years later, that emotional investment hasn't faded. Maine Mendoza's social media moves stir reactions. Recently, fans have been buzzing again after Maine Mendoza shared posts on social media that many interpreted as meaningful or even symbolic. While the posts themselves may seem simple on the surface, the internet has a way of reading between the lines. From captions to timing, fans have been quick to connect dots, sparking debates and discussions across platforms. Some believe these posts reflect personal growth and moving forward. Others, however, can't help but link them back to the past, keeping old narratives alive. But here's the reality. Not everything shared online carries a hidden message. Sometimes it's just a moment being lived. Always in the spotlight. Meanwhile, Alden Richards continues to face his own share of public attention. And yes, controversies. Whether it's related to career decisions, rumored projects, or resurfacing fan discussions, Alden remains a constant subject of curiosity. His name trends easily, often pulled into conversations he may not even be actively part of. But through it all, one thing stands out: his consistency. He continues to work, evolve, and stay focused despite the noise surrounding him. Still, the question remains: why do issues seem to follow him so closely? The power of fan narratives. One of the most fascinating aspects of this ongoing story is the role of the fans. The connection people felt during the peak of Alden and Maine's partnership was so strong that for many,
Kopya ka na
it
din
never
kay
truly ended.
Andrew.
That emotional bond has transformed into a lasting narrative,
Scusi,
one that
signore.
continues to evolve
Bagay kayo
even
ng
without
boyfriend
direct
mo.
input from the two stars.
Hindi ko naman yung boyfriend
Fans
eh.
create theories,
Friend lang.
revisit past moments, and interpret present actions through the lens of nostalgia. It's powerful, but it can also blur reality. And in the age of social media, narratives spread faster than ever. Different paths, same spotlight. Today, both Alden Richards and Maine Mendoza are clearly on different journeys. Maine has embraced a more private, grounded life, focusing on personal happiness, business ventures, and meaningful relationships. She appears more intentional about what she shares and what she chooses to keep for herself. Alden, on the other hand, remains deeply active in the entertainment industry, taking on diverse roles and continuing to grow his brand. They've both evolved, and that's something worth recognizing. So, why do the issues never end? The answer isn't as complicated as it seems. When something becomes as big as Alden and Maine once were, it doesn't just disappear. It becomes part of pop culture history. And with that comes constant revisiting, reanalyzing, and reimagining. Every new post, every appearance, every silence, it all becomes part of a bigger story that fans continue to write. It's not necessarily about controversy, it's about connection. Letting go versus holding on. At the heart of it all lies a quiet tension between two things: holding on and letting go. Some fans continue to hope, to revisit the magic, to believe there's more to the story. Others have chosen to support both individuals separately, respecting their growth and current realities. Neither side is wrong. It simply reflects how deeply people once cared. The real story. Moving forward, what's truly important now is perspective. Alden Richards and Maine Mendoza are no longer just a love team. They are individuals with their own lives, dreams, and directions. The issues may never fully disappear, but perhaps they don't need to. Because beyond the noise, beyond the speculation, what remains is something simple and real. Two people who once created something unforgettable and continue to be remembered for it. Final thoughts. In a world driven by trends and fast-moving stories, the continued fascination with Alden and Maine says something powerful. It shows how meaningful connections, even those formed on screen, can leave a lasting impact. So, whether you're still holding on to the past or embracing the present, one thing is certain. This story, in one way or another, will always live on. When silence speaks louder than headlines. And yet, perhaps the most intriguing part of this ongoing narrative isn't what's being said, but what isn't? Both Alden Richards and Maine Mendoza have mastered the art of silence. In an industry where every move is often explained, clarified, or defended, their choice to not engage with every rumor has become a statement in itself. No lengthy explanations, no reactive interviews, no public back and forth, just quiet confidence. And interestingly, that silence often fuels even more curiosity. Fans begin to ask, is there something deeper, something unspoken? Or is the silence simply a way of protecting peace? The social media effect, a double-edged sword. In today's digital age, a single post can ignite thousands of interpretations. For Maine Mendoza, even the simplest update, whether it's a photo, a caption, or a subtle quote, can instantly trend. But here's the truth. Social media is a highlight reel, not the full story. While fans search for clues and hidden meanings, it's entirely possible that what's being shared is exactly what it looks like. Nothing more, nothing less. Still, the emotional connection fans have built over time makes it difficult not to read between the lines. And that's where the cycle continues. Alden's grace under pressure. On the other side, Alden Richards continues to navigate public attention with a kind of quiet resilience. Despite recurring issues, resurfaced narratives, and constant speculation, he rarely reacts impulsively. Instead, he leans into his work, letting his projects, performances, and professionalism speak for him. That kind of composure doesn't go unnoticed. In fact, many fans admire him even more for it, because staying grounded in the middle of noise, that takes strength, the reality behind the headlines. Here's something worth thinking about. Not every story that trends reflects reality. Sometimes what people see online is shaped more by perception than by truth. A single moment can be taken out of context, amplified, and turned into something much bigger than it actually is. For Alden Richards and Maine Mendoza, this has been a recurring challenge, being part of a narrative that continues to evolve, even without their direct participation. And that's the price of being unforgettable. Growth, healing, and moving forward. What often gets overlooked in all the noise is growth. Both individuals have changed, personally and professionally. They've experienced new chapters, built new connections, and discovered different versions of themselves. Growth doesn't always happen loudly. Sometimes it's quiet, private, intentional. And maybe that's what we're seeing now. A shift from being defined by the past to being fully present in who they are today. Fans, the heart of the story. Through everything, the updates, the issues, the silence, one thing remains constant: the fans, their loyalty, their passion, their ability to keep the story alive. Some continue to hold on to what once was, cherishing every memory. Others choose to support Alden Richards and Maine Mendoza as individuals, respecting their current paths. And in many ways, both forms of support come from the same place: care. So, what happens next? That's the question no one can fully answer. Will there be another moment that brings them back into the same conversation again? A project, a public interaction, or even just another unexpected coincidence? Or will the story tire fade into something softer, less about speculation and more about appreciation? Whatever happens, one thing is certain: the connection that once captured millions won't simply disappear. A story that refuses to end. In the end, the ongoing buzz around Alden Richards and Maine Mendoza isn't just about issues or updates. It's about impact. It's about a moment in time that meant something real to people. And maybe that's why, no matter how much time passes, the story keeps finding its way back into the spotlight. Because some connections, whether real, remembered, or reimagined, are simply too powerful to be forgotten.